I first fell in love with theater and Shakespeare when I was in high school, and my high school had no drama program whatsoever. And so, this lady from the Long Beach Shakespeare Company by the name of Helen Borgers was brought in to help us start our company. And the first thing she did with us was Shakespeare. She didn't waste time on improv games, none of that, just straight into Shakespeare. And the whole class fell in love with it. We had read it in classes before, but actually acting it out and getting a chance to get it on its feet and see what it could really do when we put our imaginations to it and how it could fit whatever we wanted it to, the whole class fell in love with it all at once. Theater and Shakespeare are so important to go see because they are still the stories of today. They are about us, really. They are about things that are happening in our own society, and it has this elevated language. So you get a chance to really feel all those feelings that you're feeling, all the frustrations that you're feeling about what's going on today. Shakespeare gives you the time to explore those feelings along with him and along with his characters. Helen Borgers was the first ever artistic director for the Long Beach Shakespeare Company. She had taken it from being Bard in the Yard, a wandering troupe that would do the parks of Long Beach, into a company that had its own space and could offer theater just as good as the Globe, just as good as Oregon Shakespeare Company, but right here in Long Beach, in her hometown, where she kind of felt it needed it. It was lacking. It was this one thing that this cultural hub didn't have, was some classical theater. And so she brought that to life and made it a stable thing in the community. I felt I had to be part of the Long Beach Shakespeare Company immediately. At the end of my school year, where we started the drama club, and Helen helped us start that drama club, at the end of that school year, I went to a program here in Long Beach called School to Career, and I pitched them an idea for an internship. They had already set up internships with the hospitals and with several local businesses, such as law offices and things like that, for people interested in those fields, but they didn't have anything in the arts just yet. And I was a little bit of a go-getter, and I wanted some extra school credits as well. And so I got the Long Beach Shakespeare Company to sign off, and I went to School to Career and said, hey, this company wants to give me an internship. And so that summer, we started touring Renaissance fairs, and I've been ensconced ever since. The mission of the Long Beach Shakespeare Company is to bring high-quality, classical, in-period plays to the people of Long Beach at affordable prices. This is a bit different from other companies, that we're serving specifically Long Beach. We have a few other theaters here in Long Beach, but what sets us apart from them is that we do classical theater. We give the audience a chance to see something that they would otherwise travel to up to LA, the Geffen, or some other high-profile place. We bring it down to them and let them experience it right here in their own community. My favorite Shakespeare play is The Winter's Tale. I love this play because it's magical. It lets you really play with your imagination. When you hear exit pursued by a bear, we all get a very distinct image of what that can be. What does that bear look like? At the end of the play, when the statue of Hermione comes back to life, we all get this terrific image of love transforming marble into flesh. And it gives our imaginations a chance to really explore what magic can do and what is natural and what is supernatural, as well as exploring several levels of emotions and the relationships between people. A couple of my other favorites include Cyrano de Bergerac. We're all Cyrano, we're all Roxanne, and we're all Christiane to someone in our lives. We all love someone from afar. We all love someone up close, and we all get to be admired from time to time, which is nice too. So we're all Cyrano, we're all Roxanne, and we're all Christiane at some point in our lives, and it just is the perfect way to express what love means in different circumstances. Another one of my favorites is definitely Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because as much as we all try to be Dr. Jekyll, our Mr. Hyde comes out from time to time, and honestly, it feels kind of good. The 2019 theater program will be a season of villains for the Long Beach Shakespeare Company. What I wanted to do is I wanted to unify us against common enemies. You know, this country right now is so angry and sometimes divided that we misdirect our anger. So I wanted to explore who villains are. And villains are people who undercut the values of society, not necessarily the laws, but the values of society. Whether it's Iago's racism, Dr. Faustus' greed, no matter what the cost, or Titus Andronicus' constant quest for revenge, these things undercut our better nature and what we can be. So it's a chance for us to recognize our darker parts on stage and maybe to try to better ourselves after seeing it. The ASL Literature Slams at our company is something we're very excited to bring to our 2019 season. One of our volunteers, Max, is just a rock star at this stuff. He, for some time, has been doing our radio programs providing ASL translations, so then that way we could appeal to the underserved deaf community here in Long Beach and Signal Hill. And so he wanted to expand that and give these poets and these artists and these creative people who otherwise don't get a place to express themselves a chance to really shine and a chance to show what they can do with sign language. And even if you don't have any previous experience with sign language, it's worth coming to just to see these people do their thing in something that is completely new to you. Our old-time radio productions are fan favorites because it's a time machine. It takes people back in time into a studio of the 1930s, 40s, 50s, where radio was the way that we experienced entertainment. And it lets our audience not only imagine themselves in the story, but in another time where they can listen and go deep into the story as they're listening to it. And they're not distracted by lights and flash and worried about what this actor is doing with their left hand, because they just get to listen to the story in a compelling and artistic way. Our radio plays are a fan favorite because it gives our audiences an opportunity to go back in time and experience radio plays of the 1930s and 40s, as well as our own adaptations. And it lets them just close their eyes and picture Captain Nemo's vessel, or Sherlock Holmes on Moriarty's trail, or some fiends trying to overthrow Christmas by killing Santa Claus. Whatever it may be, it gives the audience the chance to imagine that and put their own faces and their own magic to that picture. The Long Beach Shakespeare Acting Group is tight-knit and will forever have each other's backs. They reach out to one another at the drop of a hat if we need to fill a role at last minute. Sometimes it happens. They have a friend that they can call at any time, and they are so happy to work with each other that that friend almost always says yes. And so they are just a network that not only works with us, but works all over Long Beach and Signal Hill and serving your community. Dana Leach is the brains of this company. I am merely a crazy artist who throws ideas at a corkboard, and Dana lets me know what's going to stick. Dana is the one who makes sure the ideas that we come up with can be brought to the stage. She makes sure that the lights are on, that the door is open, that there's a place for you audience members to buy tickets, to meet our actors, to, even if you want to, arrange a question and answer after one of our shows. That's all on Dana, as well as many other millions of little things that I couldn't imagine doing. Because like I said, I'm the crazy artist, and I need that other half of the brain. Thank you, Dana. You, the Long Beach and Signal Hill community, can get involved with the Long Beach Shakespeare Company in several different ways. We're always looking for volunteers, whether you want to be a stage manager, whether you want to run a light board, whether you want to try something completely new. This is an opportunity for you to get involved and see what you could do. Or if you want to do something comfortable like pick up a paintbrush, we always need that too. Of course, we always love when you guys buy tickets online. It lets us know you're coming, and it supports our theater. We depend entirely on your ticket sales, except for one other way you could support, which is our donation program. And there is no minimum to that. You could donate $10, you could donate $3,000. And you will always get a thank you letter, you'll always get a handshake, and you will get your name in our program. So that's pretty cool too. One thing that we were always looking to do is expand what we can do. And right now, our biggest hampering our biggest obstacle, our costumes, because we want to be able to take you all over the world. We would love to do theater that has bases in China, the bases in Africa, bases in Egypt, from all over the world. But our costumes are limited right now to Renaissance and medieval and plenty of Greek stuff too. So we are always looking for new costume pieces, we're looking for donations, and we're looking for people who would also like to, maybe, if you know that, if your family comes from a background of theater and rich heritage, bring that on in. And we would love to see some works from around the world, because classical theater does not stop in Europe. It happens everywhere. So the reason I would like the Long Beach and Signal Hill community to come out to our productions is because we depend on you. We're doing this for you. This is all about serving the people of our community and making sure that they get a chance to see something terrific and to come to a place that will welcome them and to feel like a second home to them at the same time. Our patrons that have been coming here, most of them have been coming here a very long time because they feel a connection with us. Having been with this company off and on for about 15 years, some of these patrons have literally seen me grown up. And when they get to shake my hand after production, they know that it's a hand of a friend who told them a story today. And they're going to take that home and treasure that.